Hello and welcome to this HRD Connect podcast. I am delighted to introduce Liz Villani, founder of Courageous Success. Liz is joining us today to share her expertise on the impact of putting realness at the centre of your strategic growth formula. Welcome, Liz.
Thank you. Great pleasure to be here.
Can you tell us about I Am and Courageous Success and your philosophy for developing people?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. So courageous success is a verb. People talk about engagement in the world, but actually courageous success is a different way of being. It's about getting rid of self-doubt and complacency and coasting and having more courage and grit and guts, but as a result of really kind of being the best of yourself. So we work globally. We have a team in the UK, in the US, and in Australia to basically help people to put the best of themselves at the centre of the success so that they humanise the workplace. And we also work to shift mindsets so that that individual or those teams dramatically improve the performance of the business and what they're doing, but by being the best of them.
And what will people learn in your workshop at the HRD Summit?
So the workshop is a really practical session. We are going to share some of the latest research and stats around realness and the links, particularly between trust and authenticity. But really, the whole purpose of our workshop is to help people experience who they are and understand, well, what's important about that? So 94% of people say that what Courageous Success does with I Am is different from any work that they've done before, any development that they've done before. So really, it gives people a chance to understand who they really are, which is at their heart rather than their head, not their habits and personas and what we call strategies, like the coping mechanisms and learned behaviours that we tend to generate at work over time. But the real us, the us that is at our essence, that when we actually are ourselves and that person, we become very real, very authentic, but really effective too. And that transforms the way we see ourselves and everyone else too. So it's really a chance to come along and find out more about yourself and also challenge your assumptions about who you should be at work, but also how that might affect how you look strategically at your role as HR within the whole sort of growth formula that a business needs to have now.
So, what do you see as the key challenges in today's workplace, and how do you see doing business in a new way?
Well, I mean, the challenges that we see with our clients in the workplace are the same everywhere. Culture definitely plays a part, but as human beings, fundamentally, what we tend to do is, we will conform to a workplace culture, and that means that we have workplace masks. We tend to give our power away, we will conform, we'll compare ourselves to other people, and that can result, for example, in some cases with kind of assertive, authoritarian type leadership that's really driven by a feeling that you need to adapt and change, born out of the kind of fundamental conformity and self-doubt and insecurity that we all have. And so what you end up with, if you like, is a mixture of people that are conforming to an organisation rather than being free to be themselves, which is what can make the fundamental difference. So it's very restrictive, is what we find. And we do a lot of measurements. So on average, when people enter the Courageous Success world, one of the measures that we take is, well, actually, if you had to rate your performance at work right now, then how would you rate that? And on average, people report a gap of 30%, which is huge, between who they're being and what they're delivering and actually what they could be delivering. So it's all about really closing that gap by getting rid of some of those conformity kind of behaviours, which is about culture. And that, for us, that's business a new way. It's about being real, it's about being human and unlocking natural energy within people, which delivers results.
So, at Courageous Success, I know you are passionate about HR impacting the bottom line.
Yes.
But how can HR functions put realness at the centre of their growth strategy?
Well, I think this for me is a fundamental question. I spent over a decade not in HR, in an operational role, and I would see HR strategies come and go, and I would see people go on training courses and profiling tools and leadership programs and basically come back and nothing would change. And I think the role of HR, for me, for my experience, has to be aligned with, the bottom line and what people are trying to achieve. So, the way that we see HR being able to influence strategic growth is by ensuring that you're helping people to put themselves. So having an HR strategy that says be yourself means that whether you're developing people or talent or management or leadership, actually it's about being you, but tying that to the bottom line. So we believe that development should influence the bottom line, and we should have metrics that show the links between an individual's energy and their output. And so, to have HR within the strategic growth formula, our belief is that they should be potentially leading that along with the goal setting of the other members of the team.
And where can people find out more about I Am and Courageous Success?
So the way to find out about I Am, number one is come to the workshop, and you'll really experience it, which is on Wednesday the 7th, the HR Summit, 1:50 p.m. in the afternoon. So that's the number one thing that we're recording this podcast for. But you can also go on the Courageous Success website, which is www.courageoussuccess.com, and find out more about the I Am tool, which I'll just talk about really briefly. The whole point of I Am is to help people to identify who they are. If you already are the best person you can be, then actually, in order to be that person, you have to understand you. Most people, they think that they are what's in their heads, which is their history, their success, their patterns, their roles, who they are as a person, where they live, their name. All of that is, as I said, in your head. Who you really are is in your heart. So I Am is we call it the world's first clean values tool, because it doesn't mix up any of those habits and strategies and beliefs and doubts, but reveals the real you. And we'll explore a little bit more about the people that come to the workshop. We'll explore who they are within that session. So the best thing is to come along to the workshop, because we're there. We're also going to have a stand exhibiting, so people can come and sign up to trial I Am too and understand a little bit more about it and understand them for themselves.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Liz.
You're welcome. It's been a great pleasure.
Courageous Success, along with a multitude of other thought leaders, will be joining the HRD Summit in 2018. To see more content from them, please visit our website at hrdsummit.com.